No, we're very much looking forward to the men's 5,000 metre final in a couple of nights' time. We had the heats yesterday, but very much like that event, this women's event is stacked, isn't it? We're obviously focusing on the front of the field, but some of these other athletes, they're running some fantastic times. These are great athletes in their own right. Really interesting to see the 3 American athletes working hard, but yeah, there's Ray, the German athlete. She's just decided at this point she's actually holding her stomach. It's a long way to go if you're not feeling good. And yeah, such a shame for her when she led the race out for so many laps at the beginning, and we hope that Elena Ray's okay.
9 laps to go in this women's 10,000 metres. Wanjiru leads from Tirop. Sembere Teferi, silver medalist in Beijing, over 5,000 metres. She's third. Hellen Obiri, the reigning world cross-country champion, is fourth, with Sifan Hassan fifth, and Guide just behind her in sixth. And Obiri's beginning to make a move. Great work by the Americans there, down the beginning of the back straight. But Hellen Obiri, with 8.5 laps to go, has decided to go to the front for the first time. Now this might be significant because the group were just getting very, very bunched together, and maybe Obiri sensed they were beginning to slow. And it's Hassan at the back now, just having to hang on a little bit. Teferi in second. All 3 Kenyans still very much in the mix, but it's Hellen Obiri, their most experienced athlete, who has achieved so much on the track, and she's bringing her career in stadiums to a close quite soon. She says after Tokyo she'll be a road runner, so we won't have too many more opportunities to see Hellen Obiri. Still the 3 Americans working so well together, trying to close down the gap on Netzanet Gudeta, who has been passed by Hitomi Nia, who's still running on her own in 7th place.
Yeah, that's a hard position to run on your own. She's having a great race, but these are the hard laps. Once we get down to 3 or 4 laps to go, that's when the race really kicks off. But when you've got, 7, 8 laps to go, there can be a lot of thoughts in your head where you're actually thinking, I'm not feeling great. These are just the laps that you just need to be mentally tough in. You just need to follow the pack. You just have to get yourself ready for a move when it happens at any point. But this looks like it's going to go right down to the wire at this point.
Well, there's so much talent in this leading group of 6. There really is. Obiri is an Olympic silver medalist, a Commonwealth champion, a world champion. Teferi has won medals at cross-country and 5,000 metres. Tirop got a bronze, the Kenyan in third 2 years ago, and she beat Hellen Obiri in the Kenyan trials on the 22nd of August. Huddle, Sissons and Hall now coming past Netzanet Gudeta, who is the reigning world half marathon champion. Now, Letesenbet Guide coming up onto the shoulder of Agnes Tirop. That's one of the Ugandans being lapped, Juliet Chekwell, who's the national record holder. Finding this too tough in these sticky conditions. Still Obiri pouring this on, but Sifan Hassan, who has got an extraordinary range of distances and times, has not become detached. 3:55 for the 1500, 14:44, a world record 5k on the roads, and she just gives Rosemary Wanjiru a little nudge in the back and does the same to Tirop there, as if to say, listen, I'm still here, this is getting a bit too slow and I fancy this. And now the youngster coming wide on the outside and throws a bit of a dirty look at Agnes Tirop as she moves alongside her compatriot Teferi, who's talking to her teammate. Now, they're talking tactics here. I thought maybe they were going for a drink, but there's a full-on conversation going on here. Yamanouchi has been lapped, but she's now, and you do see this occasionally, picking up her momentum again and trying to use the leading pack to work her way back up around the field. Guidez just throws her a little look. She looks ominously good here, Letesenbet Guidez, doesn't she?
She does. I think she's hardly breathing. She's wiping a little bit of sweat away from her brow, but her running style is so economical. In complete contrast there to Helena Beery, who kind of rocks and rolls her way along the track. Guidez looks really good. This is the first time we've actually seen her lead. There's been no significant increase in pace. She's just found herself there more than anything.
You could throw a double duvet over that group of women. It's going to come down to a burn-up over a mile. And if it does, as we look at the Americans still working tightly together, they're taking some big scalps here if they can finish ahead of Netzanet Gudeta. Question here, as we look at this group, don't worry, Rachel Chebet is on a different lap because these athletes are in a different class. Chebet was not too far off the podium in the World Cross, but she's finding the speed here and the conditions a bit difficult. Here's the question, Jenny. If it does come down to a mile-long burn-up, in terms of raw speed, the fastest athlete on paper is Sifan Hassan at the back. But can she produce that speed at the end? 24 brutal laps with a 400 to go if it does get that close?
Well, that's a great question. It's a question that we'll see answered very, very shortly. I presume Hassan thinks she can. She's chose to enter this. She did win the Diamond League 1500 metres. We know how good she is at the 5K. She medalled in the 5K 2 years ago in London, a surprise bronze at that time, but she must think she can, and here's a significant move.
The Ethiopians in the crowd, you can see them in the background, are going absolutely wild. This will decimate the group of six, and that's why they're single file. Look at the acceleration from Letesenbet Guidez. She's only 21, and she is ripping through this field. Hassan has been dropped, Wanjiru has been dropped, and so too her older teammate Semberi Teferi. Letesenbet Guidez, as Netzanet Gudeta steps off the track, she was having a torrid time. Guidez has laid down the gauntlet here and decided to really go for this. What an injection of pace. 64.9 for that lap. That's why she's broken this field in two. But as Tirot and Abiri give chase, Sifan Hassan is still there. This is so brave from Letesenbet Guidez, but look at that form. She's holding it beautifully. This is a brave, brave bid to try and win a gold medal against two women who are hugely experienced and decorated on multiple surfaces, on the country, on the road and on the track. Tirot chases with Hassan and Abiri. Has Guidez got enough to keep going?
She must think she has. It was a significant move, and it was at 1500 metres to go. That's what we were just saying. If it comes down to the last 1500 metres, 1 mile or so, as Hassan got that speed at the end of a 10,000 metre race. We'll find out soon. She did drop back off, but here she is. She's back on the pace.
Inside the last two laps of the women's 10,000 metres, Letesenbet Guidez, this precocious, hugely talented Ethiopian, is driving on. She injected an unbelievable 64-second lap. The Ethiopians in the crowd are desperate for her to win this. Helena Beery is trying all she might, but she's been dropped. She's in fourth. And Sifan Hassan is closing. She's dragging Agnes Tirot with her. This has been so brave and so bold from Letesenbet Guidez, but Sifan Hassan, one of the athletes of 2019, has reeled her in. She's so inexperienced at the 10,000 metres, Hassan, but she's so strong. She's got such a range over the